Hi, my name is Terry James, and for my show and tell, I want to show you some features of the Moxon Vise I've just built. It's basically a very wide clamping vise that you use when you're doing hand-cut joinery. It aligns with the edge of a bench, and it also elevates the work up above the bench so that it's more in line with where your elbow might be when you're sawing a dovetail, for instance. It's just ergonomically a little bit better. It's also quite wide. There's a little over 24 inches between the screws. So you could actually put an entire drawer or a major piece if you wanted to do planing on the edge or fitting work. But typically the Moxon vise is used with joinery. It's got the two heavy chops, the clamping faces of the vise. The outer one I've got lined with leather just to keep it from marring the piece you're working on. But you typically would have an alignment jig that you use. In fact, the Guild has one. This is one that David Erickson made. And it will hold your tailboard that you've already cut over the top of a pin board when you're marking your pins so that everything stays in precise right angle alignment during the process, and you can take all the time you need to mark it properly. I use this jig, this actual alignment jig, a lot when I'm doing work at the Guild, but I decided, it would be easy to incorporate that into the Moxon vise itself. So that's what I've done, and this shelf basically is just built into the back face of the vise. It's at a precise right angle in all three alignment planes, so that I can clamp a piece directly in the Moxon vise. It's got also a captive outer chop, which is a little bit different than most vices. The outer chop will actually move quite a bit. This has pins that go up into recesses on the screws, so that when you move it, the vise is the chop is captive to the screw. I did, because I've got a CNC machine, I couldn't help do a few little embellishments. In the back chop, I've got a date and signature. I don't know if you can see this. Henry, is this visible? I just basically scanned my signature and cut that into the back of the vise. And then on the front side, I've got my shop logo and the Alabama Woodworkers Guild logo. And when I turned these handles for the screws, I went ahead and put a medallion with my initials in that as well. So I couldn't help but do a few little embellishments. The wood is bird's eye maple for the chops, and bird's eye maple and sapele laminated for the screw handles. The screws themselves are maple, and the base and the shelf for the alignment jig are sapele. That's it. That's my show and tell. Thanks.